Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You'll like and follow me across all platforms. I'm everywhere. Become a member to the YouTube channel. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Does someone need to hit rock bottom to change? That's what some people say, man. And when you're watching Claressa Shields, she's fighting on February 22nd against Franchon Cruz. I think that's going to be a very good fight. I do think Claressa has a lot of distractions. But you got to give her the benefit of the doubt as far as being prepared. One thing we know about Franchon Cruz, she's locked in. She ain't trying to come in here and lose a fight. She worked too hard to get to this point. This is the fight that can put her where she wants to be. There's no other feather she can put in her cap that's any bigger than Claressa Shields. Speaking of Claressa Shields, for many people watching Claressa Shields right now, there's a lot of frustration, man. And it's not rooted in hatred. For some people, it's rooted in frustration, but it's rooted in disbelief. Because you're watching somebody who was just soaring with the Eagles. I mean, she was up out of here. And all of a sudden, she went from being this eagle with the wings spread and soaring, and we all there watching her, man, to being this goddamn miserable, broken-winged pigeon crawling around in the goddamn park, man, fighting with these bums over breadcrumbs and shit. And fans are saying, how did that happen? You know what I mean? How do you go from being respected, championed, just the inspiration for so many people, man, to where now people don't like you? She wasn't really making an effort before for people to like her. People just liked her. They were just rooting for her. Because she was a young two-time Olympic gold medalist who came from an impoverished background, figured things out. Like Tupac said, the rose that grew from the concrete. That is what Claressa Shields was, and that's who she is. But fans right now, they aren't just saying she's wrong with all the things that she's done. They're saying she doesn't appear to recognize any wrongdoing at all, and they say that's wrong. That's problematic. She needs help. I'm going to tell you this. From all my years of experience, the people who say, I don't care, and I don't care, and you can't do this, and I don't do that, and I don't care if this happens, those are the people who care more than the people who say they care. The people who say, oh, no, I care about this and I care about that, those are the ones that don't give a shit. Those, the ones that are loud, and I don't care, and I don't care, and I'll go to jail, and I'll kill you, and I'll bite you, those are the ones that give a shit. But psychologically, the fact that she doesn't appear to recognize any wrongdoing at all, even her live last night, like she just really doesn't appear to think anything's wrong with the way she's moving, man. Psychologically, that's the most dangerous phase of success, when confidence turns into impermeability. People don't usually change because of criticism. They change because reality interrupts their self-image. And she is getting a big dose of reality right now from the entire world. And it's not fun. I'm watching her, and you can tell this shit ain't fun to her. She wanted the attention. She wanted to be a superstar. She's getting it. But what she's realizing is, man, there's a price to be paid to be famous, to be well known. Because she went after the acclaim, the high profile status. She went after it by trying to be a villain. That shit, let me tell you something. If you want to be a villain and you want to be embraced, you got to be likable. There's nothing likable about Claressa Shields when she decides to act like Clorenzo. Matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with her wants to be Clorenzo. You know what I mean? But just be Clorenzo in training camp, be Clorenzo inside the ring, outside the ring, be Claressa. The girl with the two little pigtail that won the gold medals and was doing interviews with Adidas sweatsuits and Reebok sneakers, mismatched, no sense of style and nothing. No makeup, nothing. Just be that little simple girl from Flint, Michigan that was there eating, collard green sandwiches and chilling. Like that's okay. Because understand this. She was in a much better space back then than she is now with the money, with the weave, with the makeup, with the bad attitude, with the rapper Poos, Willie Mac, the Poos. She was much better when she was the good girl, just being herself, instead of out here trying to be the villain, doing things she thinks that can help promote and build her brand. But I'll say this, rock bottom, that's where I think she's heading, man. She's heading to rock bottom. A rock bottom doesn't have to be physical. It can be a public loss, a reputational collapse, financial consequences, loss of support and isolation, a public loss. Has she been taking public losses on social media to the fans? Hell yeah. Has she been taking public losses when it comes to her reputation and her reputation collapsing? Yes. Her reputation has collapsed. I mean, I've never seen anyone's, well, actually, I'm lying. I was just watching a clip on Shine. He was on the Breakfast Club. One day, Shine was out here riding in Bentleys, in Ferraris, millions of dollars. Within 2-3 hours, his ass was in a jail cell and didn't get out. You look at Puff Daddy, was there chilling in the breeze, living his best life, all that baby oil and the freaky deek shit going on. Then when they finally got a hold of his ass, put him in jail, it was all gone. So the reputational collapse can happen like this. She is causing the same kind of damage or worse damage to her reputation than guys like Diddy and other fools out there who are doing criminal acts. She's not doing anything to break the law necessarily, but at the same time, what she's doing is criminal when you think about how she's violating herself and abusing herself. Financial consequences. That's some real talk, man. Everyone believes she should be a gazillionaire. No endorsements, no real sponsorship. Nobody want to work with her because of the reputational collapse and the attitude. She's losing people. She's lost hella support, and she's in isolation. She seems like she has nobody. The only thing she have there is Willie Mac, the Poos. That man went away. He got things to do. She married an old man. He got baggage. He's got shit going on. Or, kids, wife. That shit sound crazy. But he has obligations outside of her. When he's gone, she's isolated. She's by herself. She don't want nothing. Nobody want to be around her. She don't want to be around no one. Just her and that goddamn phone. And her going crazy. Let me tell y'all something. The human brain responds far more strongly to loss than to advice. So even after doing all my research, I'm realizing it don't matter what I say, you say, he say, she say, we all say, beyond say. It doesn't matter. A loss is going to get her attention. Advice means nothing. That's why she went off on Jamel Herring the other day. She didn't want to hear him. That's why if she's doing live and you say, hey, stop talking about Papoose. Stay off social media so much. She'd be like, block them, get them out of here. They're just bums. They jealous of me. They want to be like me. Coco. They want to be like Coco. I'm cuckoo. I'm Coco. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So if she's Coco, he's Willie. So he's Willy Wonka, and she's the chocolate factory. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord have mercy, man. But behavioral science calls this loss, call it loss aversion. You don't want to take the loss, man. Now, let me tell you something. Rock bottom. Have I ever hit rock bottom? Yeah, in my career, I had ended up in a pretty dark position. I was in a dark space for a moment. Some of that shit I had something to do with it, but it wasn't all me for sure. Tell you that shit. Um, and I just had to eat it. You know what I'm saying? I had to eat that shit, and I didn't like it. But what I'll tell you is that shit does something to the brain when you hit rock bottom. It does. From a psychological standpoint, hitting rock bottom triggers three possible outcomes: growth, post traumatic growth. I did. I grew from that. Entrenchment, doubling down, meaning you're like, fuck this. Keep doing what I'm doing. I didn't do that. Then collapse, withdrawal or self destruction. I did withdraw a little bit. I didn't self destruct, never that. But I had a little bit of collapse, short term, and then a whole lot of growth. No entrenchment, doubling down, like, fuck this, I'm gonna do what I want. But which one happens depends on self awareness, accountability, and support systems. With me, I just have all of my dad's values and the way he raised me. So anything I go through in life, I hear that man's voice. I hear that man's voice for anything in life. Anything. I can hear something that he's told me and I can apply it to the situation. Isn't that crazy? So a person should have self-awareness, accountability, and the right support systems. But what the data suggests, and this is simplified educational models, right? Across multiple psychology and behavioral studies, addiction, recovery, elite athletes, executives, public figures, right? So across multiple psychology and behavioral studies, outcomes after major public setbacks tend to break down like this. 35 to 40% experience positive transformation. This is after a major public setback. 35 to 40% experience positive transformation. 30 to 35% become more defensive and combative. 20 to 25% disengage, isolate, and spiral further out of control. 5 to 10% show no meaningful change at all. The key variable is not the setback itself. It's whether the person believes, I played a role in this. If the answer is no, rock bottom does nothing. That's some deep shit, man. Now, why some people need a hard stop? When someone is praised for toughness their entire life, they can confuse accountability with disrespect, feedback with hate, opposition with jealousy. Who does that sound like? In psychology, this is called egocentric behavior. The person's actions feel justified to them, even if they're destructive externally. In that state now, advice bounces off, warnings are mocked, critics are enemies, reflection never ever occurs. Only a non-negotiable consequence forces reassessment. And that's what we've been talking about. She needs to lose a whole lot of money. She needs to go to an event and it not be sold out. It'd be 85% empty. She needs something that's going to jolt her. A non-negotiable consequence to force a reassessment for how she's conducting herself. Now, there are a lot of fans who are like, look, man, Hood Champion, stop doing videos on her. She's a runaway train. I'm not going to stop doing videos because I create content, so I want to stop doing videos. But Claressa Shields is interesting. She's just really like a real life case study. Just watch her. This shit's interesting. All that talent, all these issues that just surround her. Now, as far as fans saying she's a runaway train metaphor fits because speed increases over time, brakes feel unnecessary, warning signs are ignored, the driver believes control still exists. That's Claressa Shields. And me, as a boxing fan, and you all as boxing fans, we from the outside, we're watching and we see more confrontations, fewer allies, escalating tone, confrontational language, shrinking benefit of the doubt, and yet no visible pause, no sign of slowing down. She's caught up in what I described earlier as entrenchment. She's doubling down. Doesn't care. That's why people start saying things like, only a major setback is going to stop this chick. Not because people want harm to her, because nothing else has worked. Nothing else has worked for Claressa Shields. She damn near at rock bottom. She's still arguing. But she needs some non-negotiable consequences. You know, it makes me wonder, like, if someone hits rock bottom, does that make them better? Does that make them worse? You know, sometimes, but not automatically. Rock bottom may only help if the person accepts responsibility. Shame turns into reflection, not rage. Pride is replaced by curiosity. Silence replaces impulse. If instead the response is blame, deflection, it ain't me, it's you, conspiracy thinking, y'all just want to bring me down, nobody likes me, everyone is against me, then rock bottom, it ain't gonna do nothing but harden the person, like Claressa Shields. And this is why a lot of people are rooting against her, man. There are people who want her to lose. Like, you heard them last night. They don't care. She's done so much shit to piss people off. They don't care. They just don't care. She can't even go and run to her man. Pap, they after me, Pap. They hate me, Pap. I'm blaming him for that. I'm deflecting this. It's a conspiracy against me, Pap. Pap, what we gonna do? Man, please. That goddamn hood champion think he's some kind of scholar doing all these videos on psychological. He think he's psychological. I don't want to hear that shit. Get over here, Pat. Eat some of this Puerto Rican fish. Like that's Simone, don't you? Goddamn N-word. Get your ass over here. People are rooting against her, man. When fans are rooting for a downfall, it means a few things. They feel unheard. They feel disrespected. They feel morally dismissed. And they feel embarrassed by you. Franchon even said, Claressa doesn't represent the brown-skinned girls and women that look like me. She doesn't represent that shit. I'm glad Franchon said that. Because Claressa does not represent Franchon Cruz's earn. Franchon deserves to be over there on MVP if you ask me, but I mean, whatever. What do I know? Claressa should be over there too, but she's going to do what she wants. It's less about boxing and more about career fatigue. You know what I mean? People don't turn this way overnight. It's cumulative. Over a period of time, people reach this point and develop that fatigue for Claressa Shields or for a person. And you know what's the most concerning part? The most worrying sign isn't controversy. It's the absence of self-correction. I have yet to see her make any refinements. You know, to come and make a complete overhaul of the way you do business, that's kind of hard for a person to do who doesn't know how to do it or who doesn't want to do it. But there should be minor refinements taking place, man. When someone never says, when they never say this, I could have handled that better. You know what? I was wrong. You know what? Let me recalibrate. Well, I don't expect many people to use the word recalibrate. Nobody gonna be using all them prison words and shit, you know what I mean, all the time. But goddamn it, if you watch this video, start using it. You probably say, you know, let me think about it. But not too many people gonna use the word recalibrate, you know. You start using words like recalibrate, and you talking to me, I'm just waiting for you to stop begging for $5 and shit. If you start hitting me with the goddamn prison words And let me stop making jokes. I'm just telling you, whenever I meet people that be talking that shit, yeah, brother, and you know, it's and they start using all that prison talk. Normally, within 2-3 minutes and shit, let me hold $5. You know what I'm saying? So you start talking them big words, make me nervous. I use them, but I ain't gonna ask you for $5. But the bottom line is they need to recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? If you could say, yo, I should have handled this better, I was wrong. Let me recalibrate. The audience eventually stops hoping for growth and starts expecting collapse. And that's what we're all saying. Yo, she about to crash out. She about to collapse. Everybody's saying that. They're like, it's just a matter of time. But the other thing they're saying is if she does collapse, Papoose better get the hell out of Dodge. Because Willie Mack, the Poose, his ass gonna be in trouble, especially if he's the one that hurts her. Oh, it's over. It is over. And I don't want to see nothing bad happen to nobody. But what actually changes people like this? Someone like Claressa, right? Historically, the only things that reliably change high confidence, low reflection public figures are, in her case, a decisive loss. Boy, if Franchon Cruz clips her, or if she beats Franchon, she fights Shadesha, Shadesha clips her, knocks her out, gets that GOAT scalp. Oh, it's going to be over. Claressa going to shit herself. She loses her status of being the self-proclaimed GOAT, the goddamn undefeated fighter. That's her crown jewel. Let me tell you something. If she takes a loss, the undefeated status is gone. It's up out of here. She loses that status. She is nobody. As far as how she sees, she's a nobody. She becomes a nowhereian. She got nowhere to go. Because now all that shit about Amanda Serrano ain't Katie Taylor ain't this. Alicia Baumgartner. She can't talk shit no more. Because now she got a loss. You know what I'm saying? That'll be bad. What about the financial consequences, man? That can change a high confidence, low reflection public figure like her. If all of a sudden, man, something happens with her money, she would have to humble herself and figure some things out. A lot of people are watching now because all that shit came out on Willie Mack, the Poose. People are sitting here like, okay, when is this going to blow? Because there's some issues going on with him, is what it's seen with the IRS. This shit's gonna blow up. And she gonna be involved. And she gonna probably end up having to pay something or not want to pay something. She either pays it, he leaves it, and she goes crazy, or she doesn't pay it, and he realizes, all right, this ain't working the way I thought, and they fall apart. Either way it goes, it's gonna be some kind of turmoil. But that'll be all bad, boy. And then it could be some kind of trusted inner circle intervention and prolonged silence and reset. You know what I'm saying? These are things that reliably change high confidence, low reflection public figures. Not insults, because she seems to thrive with the chaos. Trolling her, she seems to be cool with trolling you back. And hating her, she seems to be cool with hating you back. But give her decisive loss, a loss of status, financial consequence, trusted inner circle intervention, a prolonged silence and reset. Those are the things that can get her attention. So, does someone have to hit rock bottom to change? That's the Claressa Shields question, you know what I'm saying? Fans aren't just criticizing her anymore, man. And many are openly questioning whether a major setback is the only thing that could force self-reflection. She needs to reflect, self-reflect. Like, she's got to do that. Is she going to do it? No, that's her choice, but she got to deal with the consequences of continuing to spiral uncontrollably, out of control, at a very, very rapid rate. And for people to sit here and judge her and continue to criticize it. But again, that's not gonna force her to want to change. I think taking a loss in the ring and losing some big money, that's going to cause her to change the way she does business and people who she's interacting with. You know what I'm saying? You know what's interesting is trying to understand why some people grow from failure and others get worse. What happened if Claressa Shields experiences failure? Will she grow or will she get worse? Because I'm telling you right now, I hate to use the word like fail, because I think that's harsh. I like to say not performing to your potential. But in this case, I'm going to say this. She's failing right now. When is she going to get better? Because she only seems to be getting worse. Time will tell, right? Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents. Become a member to the channel if you enjoy the content. I'll be live later tonight in the brief.